It's the Ball Boys. We're back. Hey, Dad.
Hi, Eddie.
How's it going?
Good. Yesterday.
Yeah, I was just in Toronto visiting. We had a good time, but I'm back in Winnipeg now, ready to talk some hoops. Um, Dad, when I was in Toronto, we watched game four of the Celtics Knicks series, which is what we're going to start with today, which
Right.
obviously was tainted by just the devastating Tatum injury, which is just a bummer. And we're going to
Yep.
talk about that. But the Celtics came back with a very prideful win last night in game
They
five
did.
to at least make it a series here, put some
Mhm.
pressure on the Knicks. It was a good game by the Celtics. I thought Missoula finally punted on Porzingis because,
Yeah.
and he started Lou Cornett in the third. It was just like, all right, that's it, we're done,
Yeah.
because it's clear that guy he can't he can't
He's
play,
not. He's
can't play.
just. He's just useless.
Well, he's
I
sick,
know.
right? He's got some sort of virus. So
I didn't know what it was, but he's clearly not
no,
healthy.
he can't play. He can't play. And Derek White was great, hit a bunch of shots, and
Derek White
it
was
was.
amazing. 34 points. I mean, hitting threes like crazy. It's not. I don't. I expect that from Derek White. Luke Cornett, coming up with what the game that he did, 7 blocks. I mean, my God, it was just. He was amazing,
Yeah.
and he really helped them. So I don't know, man. As you say, the Celtics had a really good win last night, but are they going to win the series without Porzingis, a healthy Porzingis, and without Tatum? No.
I don't see it, but it was a good win, and it was a classic. Like, you know what? Like,
But they're going back to New York, for Game 6. So chances are, my gut is that the Knicks suck it up and they win.
there's going to be a lot of pressure on the Knicks in that game.
Oh yeah.
But it's all set up for one of the biggest wins in Knicks franchise history here.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, it was a classic. Like, the Celtics were basically saying, "Fuck this! This is not happening in our house tonight." And they stepped up, which is what a defending champion should do.
I was really impressed. Like
Yeah,
they smoked them.
I think the Knicks are going to win this series in six, like you said. I think that building is going to be rocking tomorrow
Oh
night.
my God,
Holy
MSG to
shit.
be there on that night. Like the Knicks haven't won, gotten this close to a championship final since what? 89? No, I'm sorry,
99
99. Yeah,
against the
99
Spurs. And
against
and
the Spurs.
honestly, and honestly, they had no shot in that series. Like, absolutely no chance. And if you're the Knicks, you're looking at this like, all right, I mean, Cleveland's gone. We got this Indiana team who we're going to talk about in a second,
Yeah.
but I'm I'm not exactly shaking in my boots. And then you look at the West and it's like, okay, I mean, OKC, like, sure, but I mean, they've looked vulnerable.
Yeah.
They're a young team.
Minnesota's looking good.
Minnesota looks really good, but still, I mean, I wouldn't say that the Knicks would be like the heavy underdogs in any of those
No,
series. Like,
against any of those teams.
this is open. Like, this is
Wide open.
it's wide open for them. It's right there for the taking.
Yep.
And for a franchise like the Knicks, who, I mean, the last meaningful basketball really before this run was the Carmelo years, and that was just a whiff of it.
Yeah.
And here it is, all set up for them.
Well, I mean, don't forget who's running it. James Dolan is still
Well,
around.
so this I wanted to ask you this because he's been incredible in this. Jalen Brunson has just been incredible. He's the reason why they're winning,
Yeah.
and he's healthy. Last year he got hurt. Remember in the series he broke his hand against the Pacers in the
Right.
second round. Everybody got hurt in that series. They end up losing in seven. If they can pull this off, is Brunson the greatest New York Knick ever?
No, 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 no. No, there's been a lot of them.
Well,
And I go back to
I'm
I go
saying
back
I'm
to
saying if they win a championship here.
if they win a championship, yeah. But I mean, there's guys like Walt Frazier, I would put ahead of him. Who else? Well, I'd say
Bernard King, maybe.
as a scorer, but I mean, he never won a ring.
It,
Really,
it,
Patrick Ewing was solid for many, many years. He
no,
never.
I think he surpassed Patrick Ewing. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Carmelo,
I
like, I
don't
mean,
think.
like,
I don't.
if you look back, like, I mean, it's not he's quickly ascending on the list.
Yeah.
If he wins Finals MVP and they win the title this year, I think it's a serious discussion.
Well, I
How
mean,
can
there
it
is
not
Willis
be?
Reed. I mean, don't forget Willis Reed. So, I
I'm
mean,
not forgetting
he
Willis
was
Reed, Dad.
he was
But, like,
he was
this
one of
guy,
the
this
he was
guy's averaging.
one considered the Mr. Nick forever
Well, I
for
understand that, Dad, but this is my point. Like, Look at what
Well, but
this guy
yeah,
is
yeah.
doing.
Brunson's close.
Look at his numbers in the playoffs. I mean, it's
Oh, oh,
undeniable. The guy's averaging like 30 points a game. And if they
I
win
know.
a championship, like I mean,
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
be like they're about to beat the defending champs.
yep.
It would be the first time they've been in the finals in 25 years. It'd be their first championship since what, 72?
70, yeah, 72. Or was it 73? 73. They won in 70 and 73.
I think he's at least on the Mount Rushmore now, even without winning the title. I mean, like seriously,
Yeah, yeah.
this is
I
what's
give
at
him
stake
that.
here.
Oh, there's no denying he's having an unbelievable series. Playoffs. Like crazy.
They got six guys, but they got six really good guys, and then
Just on that point, OG has not looked really good this year in this series. Like I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what's going on. Turnovers, mistakes. Like he's sloppy, man, and his defense is been shoddy.
well, I mean,
So
like look who he's guarding, right? Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but like he's fucking guarding Tatum and Brown every
I
possession,
know, but
and
still,
like. And the other thing is like Tibbs run it like this is the Tibbs thing. He runs his guys into the fucking ground. He's exhausted. And OG, I mean, look, like this has always been the thing that we've said in Toronto. Like OG is like outsiders would be like, oh, gee, he's such a great player. And it's like, yeah, but when you watch him every day, like he does go through these offensive sort of slumps, and
yeah,
he's in one right now. But Bridges is playing great.
yep,
Mitchell Robinson is playing really, really well off the bench
yep,
defensively. Brunson is just on fire, and they're getting enough out of Cat. Like they're finding a way here. And
yeah,
um, obviously, the Tatum injury, and we're going to talk about that right now. But you know, it sucks, right? And looking back, I think it'll be this win will be tainted. But having said that, it should be noted that like that the Knicks had won that game by the time that injury happened. Like
yeah.
they were up 3-1 with a healthy Tatum. Now let's shift to the Boston Celtics here because look, obviously it's 3-2, series isn't over. I expect the Knicks to win this series,
Yeah.
but big picture, this injury, I mean,
Oh
not
boy.
only sorry,
I said, ooh boy.
yeah, not only does it wipe out the postseason, obviously, but like it pretty much wipes out all of next year. Like
It
he's
does.
done. He's not going to play again until 26, 27.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's lost next year, and the Celtics are a bit in trouble.
They're
Um,
in real
they're
trouble.
they're in real trouble, and also they're into the first threshold or maybe second threshold.
Oh, they're far to the second apron. Like, look, like regardless of what happened this year, they were going to have to trade somebody.
Yeah,
My
and
money is
so
on Porzingis and Holiday, um, because they both make too much. Like Drew Holiday is still owed like 3 years, I think, at 35 million. I mean, my God, the chickens have come home to roost a little bit here.
yeah,
And the Porzingis thing, I mean, like, look, he was instrumental in helping them win a title last year, but even in the playoffs last year, he got hurt, tried to play. The guy just can't stay healthy. Like, I'm sorry. And if I was another team, how much would I want to invest in Kristaps Porzingis at this point? Like, it's very minimal, to be honest. So,
yeah.
could it be Derek White? He's kind of their only guy that's an asset.
Yeah, and it's yeah. I mean, it's probably going to be Derek White,
But they need
unfortunately.
him. Like they need Derek
Yeah,
White.
they need him, but
Um,
they're not. They're going to be a mess next year, Eddie.
well,
I
what
mean,
what I was going to
they're
say
not
is,
going to contend.
could it be one of those situations like what the Warriors did after KD left, because Steph got hurt, he missed the season, and they basically shut Draymond down, and they pretty much said, "We're just going to step back and just shut everybody down for a year,
Hmm.
get a high pick, come into next year with Tatum back, a high pick in next year's draft." And then we'll still have Jalen make some moves around the fringes and try to kind of reset this thing. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do, but they got some tough decisions, man. And it just sucks. It really sucks because, I mean, Tatum was playing
And
best
he was having maybe the best game of his career uh,
possibly.
in the playoffs. Anyways, I mean, he was like 47 and something, and like,
I don't think he
uh,
had that many points, but it felt like it. And I mean, like,
yeah.
just in general, I mean, he's completely peaked as a player right now. He's in his
Oh,
absolute prime.
listen, he's MVP candidate every year. He's consistently fantastic on both ends of the floor. I love the guy. He's it's just tragic
Yeah,
because
and I can't remember a time when because he's like a bona fide top five player.
yep,
And when a guy in his prime just gets completely wiped out for basically an entire season.
Well, like I say, it happened to KD.
Yeah, but it was a bit of an older KD. You know, it did
Yeah.
happen to KD. You're right, and that shifted the hierarchy of the league because he left Golden State, signed in Brooklyn, and didn't play his first year in Brooklyn, and so
Right.
that kind of shifted the whole hierarchy of the West. So that's a good one. You know, I mean, Kobe was old when he tore
Yeah.
his Achilles. Derrick Rose, you know,
Yeah.
was one when like it looked like those Bulls teams were going to be the challenger to LeBron for the next 5 years, and all of a sudden Rose is just gone.
And the thing is, Eddie, that of all those things that you mentioned, like the guys who came, they all came back, but they were never the same.
Well, KD, I think, is the best case scenario because KD came back in like that 2021 year in Brooklyn when like he was pretty much back to himself. I'd say
Mhm.
95%, you know? And
But he's
even
getting
he
old
was,
now, man. Like,
yeah, but again, Tatum's only 28 years old, right? So it's
yeah.
like, I'm not saying he's like, I don't know. I mean, Clay was never the same, but Clay had, you know, he had the ACL tear
Oh,
and
as
then
well.
the Achilles. So
Yeah.
that was like that's just,
Yeah.
you know, kind of a death sentence. And then Kyrie, we'll see. You know, he blew out his
Yeah.
Achilles this year. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough, man. It's a dark time for the Boston Celtics.
Yep.
You know, obviously we're both not Boston Celtics fans, but you hate to see great players get hurt. Like
Yeah.
you
I
know,
know.
it's
Like I say, I love the guy, and it's a tragic thing that happened, and
yeah.
you know,
But it's basketball, man, and now
yeah.
it's all lined up for the Knicks. And I want to pivot here to this Pacers thing because if the Knicks can get this done here, they'll be playing a very intriguing Pacers team that kind of just rinsed the Cavs in five.
Man, they smoked them,
They
and
smoked them.
they were not afraid at all. And you know what? The Pacers are playing with pace. They're
Really,
they they I love the way they transition from their defense to fast break baskets. They get out and run, man, and their defense has been fantastic. Siakam's had a great series. You know the things that impressed me the most on Indiana. I mean Halliburton. Okay, listen, it's Halliburton, right? I mean Halliburton is the guy. I mean, he's just playing at an elite level. Not to say Siakam isn't, but it's all really Halliburton. But the other thing I want to say about Indiana is offensively is their bench has been outstanding. Neesmith, Nembhard, well, Nembhard's a starter, but you know,
Matherin,
TJ McConnell. What?
Matherin.
Oh yeah, and Matherin. Yeah, I mean, I love Ben Matherin. So, no, they're playing great, and they're gonna be well rested to meet the Knicks.
Obi
It's gonna be
Toppin's on that
fun.
bench as well. Yeah, I mean, it's a team that has a very clear identity.
Yeah.
They run and they pressure. They pick you up full court.
Yep.
They're relentless. They're deep. Everybody knows their role,
Yep.
and they got a closer, which is what we talk about. Like they check a lot of boxes,
Yeah.
and yeah, they're going to be a bitch to play for this next team.
They sure are.
I'm not completely writing Boston out or off just yet, just because it's the Knicks and
Yeah.
strange things happen. And look, sometimes when a guy gets hurt, look, you know, a team
Yeah.
can go, you know what, fuck it, like
They rally. Yeah.
well, because like the monkey's off their back, so to speak. It's like
Right.
nobody expects us to win now. Let's just go out and have fun and see what happens.
Yeah.
It's a tall task though, without like you said, Porzingis and Tatum. I don't see it, but I'm not just anointing the Knicks yet.
No.
But it's looking like that's going to be a fun matchup. And
Oh yeah.
you know, do you have any thoughts on the Cavs? By the way, what do you do
Uh,
if you're the Cavs?
Holy crap. Well, Mitchell showed up, right? I mean, he played his ass off, and he was great, but he had nobody else. He had no help. Mobley was mediocre. Jared Allen disappeared, like
Garland was hurt.
mediocre. Like they got nothing off their bench. I mean,
Now Max,
Wade was okay, but I mean in spots, but they couldn't get scoring. They couldn't keep up with the Pacers and their running. So they couldn't get back on defense. They just looked horrible, and they got blown out a couple of times. Like
they got embarrassed.
they got embarrassed. These were not like 1 point victories on or tight games. These are blowouts.
They
And
blew. They completely blew game two as well. 'Cause they had like a 7 point lead and completely shot the bed in that one.
yeah,
You know, look. I mean, I will like look. Garland was clearly hurt. Mobley missed a game. Hunter missed a game. Like, but again, that's basketball, man. Like, I'm sorry. And
yeah,
with this team, I mean, like next year they could win 80 games. They could go 80-2, and nobody's gonna buy them.
no,
Nobody. It's going to be like, oh, fuck it. I don't care. Let's see it in the playoffs. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what they do. I don't think it's time to panic. Like take a step back and say, look, we won 64 games. You can talk yourself into. We were banged up in this series. It was a weird matchup for us. Like sometimes it's how it
Excuses,
goes.
excuses, excuses. They have issues, Eddie, and
Yeah, they do.
so
Well, I'm just saying. Like, I'm just trying to put myself in the seat of a Pacers management person right now, and thinking,
yeah.
look, the knee jerk reaction is to freak out, and look, look at what Milwaukee did, right? When Milwaukee lost that, remember a couple years ago when Miami was the eighth seed and
Mm.
Giannis got hurt, and they beat the Bucks, and what did the Bucks do? They panicked and they traded Drew Holiday for Dame Lillard, and that was, in retrospect, a really stupid
Stupid.
idea, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes, like take a step back, go like, look, we still had a great season. We won a shitload of games. We got a lot of talent, and like running it back might be the safest play. But yeah, I'm with you. They that was a concerning series.
Yeah, it was really. I was shocked.
They
I
just
was
got their
happy
asses kicked.
because I can't stand the Cavs, and I was happy the Pacers
I know
won,
you
but
love your Pacers, man.
I do. But I love my Knicks more. No, I fuck the Cavs. I give a shit about the Cavs.
Who's coming out of the East?
Well, if the Knicks get by Boston and well, that's going to be tough. But I think the Knicks will beat Indiana in seven.
I think so too. I think so too. If the Knicks make it to the finals, that would be.
Oh man,
I'm
I
hoping. I'm hoping
that's
for.
what I want. That's what I want anyway. I don't want to
Well,
see the fucking Pacers in the finals.
well, and imagine the storylines if it was after the cat trade. If it was Knicks and T Wolves,
Yeah,
who we're going to talk about in a second here because they
yeah.
look really fucking good, man.
Julius Randle against Cat. That'll be an interesting
But you know
matchup.
what? I got to give Julius some credit, man. That guy's playing
Yeah,
his ass. He's playing the best basketball I've ever seen him play.
yeah, he is.
And that Wolves team is tough. They're deep. They're athletic. They can
Yep.
go big. They can go small. We've talked about this. And Edwards, is a bona fide superstar right now.
Yes, he is.
I mean, look, it was a tough beat for the Warriors. Steph gets hurt, and that was it. That was the series, right?
Yeah.
I think if
Well,
Steph played, it would
even
have.
if Steph was health, even if he was healthy, they didn't have the the firepower or the defense to play against them. They didn't have anybody that could guard Ant-Man. So I mean,
I think you're right, but I do think if Steph played, it would have been a little bit more of a series. Like I think it would have gone 6 or 7 at
I
least.
didn't buy Golden State in
I
the
didn't buy
first
Golden
place.
State either, but I mean, I guess whatever. We'll never know. But so yeah, so now this Memphis team moves on to play what I expect to be OKC.
This Minnesota team,
What did I say?
Memphis.
Oh God, no! Memphis has been in Cancun for a month. This Minnesota team, excuse me, will go on to play the winner of OKC Denver. We're not going to touch on that series a ton because they play Game 6 tonight,
Yep.
and I honestly I think OKC is going to win that series, but I'm definitely not convinced. So
Yeah, I got the same feeling. Hey, listen, I mean, two things. Jokic has just been unbelievable. I mean, he's averaging like I don't think he's averaging, but it's close to like 40 points and 20 rebounds a game. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's like it's beyond brilliant. It's just like it's never been done. So he's playing. That's the reason why Denver's hanging around. They just have nobody else, Eddie. I mean,
they
they
got
got
nobody
nobody.
else. They got
No.
nobody else. Jamal's just getting swarmed by all the
Yeah,
guards, and
yeah.
I mean, and they got Aaron Gordon, who's a nice complementary piece, and that's it. Like, I mean, Christian Brown plays hard, but like the thing is, like, the starters are playing like 48 minutes a game. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know how they're fucking doing it. Well, I do know it's Jokic. It's that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
He does everything for that team.
But and so that's the difference. You got Denver's got two guys, maybe one and a half guys, and OKC they keep bringing out guys and one team, five guys go off, another five guys come on, and it's like and there's no drop off, Eddie. I mean, it's like
And I get that, but there's something still that is just holding me back. As good as they are, and you watch some of these games, I have to say, like the Denver OKC games, the execution is pristine. I
yeah,
mean, the way OKC moves the ball and runs their stuff and gets open looks, I mean, it's beautiful basketball. And then
yep,
Jokic is a one man execution clinic, right?
yeah,
So it's like it's high. Like I think the Boston Knicks series has been the most fun,
yep.
but the OKC Denver series, it's high level basketball
High
that's
level
played.
basketball. Yeah, it
And
is.
but it's just there's something holding me back about this OKC team, man. Like they should be kicking Denver's ass.
Yep.
And the fact that this is a series, I think it's a good matchup for Minnesota if they end up
OKC.
against either team.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what the regular season record was with
I don't give
OKC.
a shit about any of that
No,
stuff.
but I mean, none of that makes any difference.
Well, I do
Um,
know this: Memphis kicked Denver's ass all season. So if it's
Minnesota. You keep
why do I
saying
keep
Memphis.
saying Memphis?
I don't know.
Why do I keep saying fucking Memphis?
I don't
Memphis.
know. They're gone.
Yeah, Minnesota. Sorry, T Wolves fans. Minnesota kicked Denver's. I think they were like 4-0 against them, maybe even 5-0 because I think they beat them in the NBA Cup too.
Hmm.
So I don't know. And they also beat them in the playoffs last year. So they're
OKC
not
matches up pretty well with them.
with
And it'd be
Minnesota.
interesting to see, like how Gobert and Randall fare against Chet and you know, yeah.
They
And
got a
then,
lot of wings.
I mean, but they have so many weapons. Jalen Williams, Shea. I mean, Lou Dort. Like, you know, Lou Dort's going to be guarding Ant Man for the most of the time.
Good luck.
But
Hey, look, man. But I hate to say it, but the T Wolves they got guys too, man. Like Jaden
I know
McDaniels is fantastic.
McDaniels is good.
DiVincenzo has not shot the ball well, but he's a winning player. Nas Reed is fantastic off the bench. Randall's playing the best basketball of his life. Like,
It's
they're
going to be
scary,
hard.
dude.
I know.
I'm picking the T Wolves to win the West
Oh, okay. I'm sticking with OKC.
if they can get past Denver.
Yeah, if you can
We'll
get.
see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But
My prediction, I think OKC will win in 7. I think Denver will win tonight, but we'll see.
I think OKC will take care of business tonight. We'll see. But and then that'll be an interesting series as we've discussed.
It'll be a
OKC.
great conference finals.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
If it's OKC Minnesota, that's going to be a bloodbath. I think that's going 7 because I
Yep.
think those teams are seriously really evenly matched. As good
Yeah,
as
they are.
OKC is, I mean, the other piece is the T Wolves were in the conference finals last year, and they beat OKC in the playoffs last year to
Hmm.
get there. So they're not scared of this team at all. In
Nope.
fact, they're not scared of anybody. With Anthony Edwards, his personality has
Yeah,
infused on that team, and I don't know, man. They scare me, dude. They really
yeah,
fucking scare me.
they're scary. You're right.
But a Knicks Minnesota finals would be just a fever dream.
Oh yeah, that's a real possibility. We'll see. So listen, we have one more thing to discuss today. We mentioned Milwaukee earlier.
Hold on. Before that, on that note, but hold up. Just before that, I want to give me 2 minutes on the draft lottery.
Okay. Cooper Flag. Ching, cha-ching. Yeah, it's I fully expected him to go to either Utah or Washington, which had the best odds. I never expected the Raptors to have a shot at him, but I did expect the Raptors to move up from 7 to like 4 or 5. That didn't happen. Obviously, the Raptors went down to 9, and that kind of fucked them
Totally fucked
in
them.
terms of their development. Um, and so that was that about the Raptors. In terms of the rest of the draft, I was shocked that Dallas got the number one pick, Cooper Flag.
Yeah, duh.
Like that was just it just came out of nowhere. And that we've had this discussion a couple of days ago about the weighted lottery and how do you fix it?
Look, I mean, I think it's nobody can make up their fucking minds on this one, right? Because it's this is what everybody wanted. Because a couple of years ago,
Yeah,
everybody was tanking for Zion and all this shit, and it got so gross that the
yeah,
league said, you know what, we're gonna put in place that's why they put in the playing tournament, and we're
yep,
gonna skew the odds to make it more even, so that teams aren't purposely I mean, Philly this year, I actually kind of give them credit because at least they were honest. They were
yeah,
just like, no, once they Embiid went down and they shut Paul George down, they're like, no, we're tanking. This is
yeah,
what's happening here.
yeah,
So, at least they fucking were honest about it.
yeah.
But I mean,
Well, hey, the Raptors were trying to tank too, and they fucked it up. They won too many
I
games.
know, but look, it makes. I
We
think,
saw
I
that.
think, I think they need. It's been a bit of an overcorrection because the reality is, look, Dallas does not deserve that pick. Coming off of making the worst trade in the history of sports, and then this fucking a new franchise player just falls into their lap. They don't deserve that.
No, they don't.
They don't deserve it. And I'm sorry, the way
Harrison was an idiot to trade Luca, and for them to get Cooper is just wrong. It's just wrong.
it's wrong on so many. It's gross, and
Yeah,
I
it's
just
gross.
I don't even know. how to process it,
I
honestly. But
know.
I mean, if you're Utah, right, and like Utah's not even in the top four, like they're gonna have to do something, man.
Yeah.
And like I think if you're Danny Ainge, you got to go look. We got to trade into the top three here. I mean, could you convince Philly? Could you say we'll give you Markkinen and some future assets?
Hmm.
I mean, Philly doesn't really need like let's say at three, it would probably be like you're looking at Ace Bailey in that spot.
Yeah. Because
He
Dylan Harper's going
They
too.
don't really need him. Could you pry him away if you say we'll give you the sixth pick and then two future firsts and whoever, right? Like if you're
Yep.
Philly, do you go, oh, I mean, like it's a chance to rebuild our asset case. You
Hmm.
know, the Spurs are another one, right? Like they've been
God.
well, but I mean, like could they possibly be interested in trading that second pick because they've been
Yep.
drafting a bunch of young kids,
Yep.
right? Like they've always been a smart franchise in terms of asset management. They
Yep.
could look at it going like, do we draft Dylan Harper or do we trade the pick and get a whole bunch of other stuff to
Mhm.
help accelerate this rebuild with
I think they.
Wembanyama?
I think they're going to draft Harper. I mean,
I think so too. I'm
they
just
already have Wemby and they have
Well, they have
stuff
De'Aaron
talent.
Fox. This is the only problem, right? Like
Yeah,
they have a
and
point
De'Aaron
guard.
Fox and Castle and Wemby and like
Right, right. And this is my point. Like they have a point guard, right?
yeah,
So, do you draft Dylan Harper or do you trade the pick and pick up, a center and a whole bunch of other assets? You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, like
yeah,
it's in play, right?
that's interesting. Yeah, yeah,
But here's the thing. I'm on the fence about this whole thing because on the one hand, I do think that the overt tanking
hmm,
is just it's gross and it
yeah, it
sucks
is.
to watch. Having said that, the point of the draft is to give the worst teams in the league hope
Yeah,
and to help build parity in the league.
right.
So if the bottom five teams are because you look back at the last like 5 years, like I don't think the worst team has gotten the number one pick
No,
once.
it hasn't.
So it's like if the bottom five teams aren't picking in the bottom five, it's a
Something's
problem.
wrong. Yeah,
It's a
it's a problem.
problem. It's a problem for the league, right?
Yep.
Like you want the worst teams to
Get
have
hope,
something to
like you say,
build.
it gives them hope, and that's what every French like. We went through that when the Raptors were sucking, for all those beginning years. So yeah, you need hope,
Well,
right? You
you
need
need a chance to
yeah.
fucking build something, right? And like look, Charlotte they drafted Lamelo. They had the number two pick. They had Brandon Miller. They had like they've had high picks,
Mhm.
but Utah, Portland, like Washington. Although again, Washington had the second pick last year, so I don't know how bad I feel for them. But I don't
Yeah,
know. Like I said, it's just I think it's one of those where it's just there's really no right or wrong answer here. It just kind of is what it is, and sometimes the
yeah,
ping pong balls fall where they fall, and
yeah,
it pisses people off. Like like you can't. But there is a part of me that's like if the worst teams are never getting the great players in the draft, then what's the point of the draft? You can't.
yeah.
We're just making
I know.
the good teams better, and the shitty teams just continue to be shitty.
It's
Anyway,
definitely a problem. But and you know what? It's I have to say it's instantly made Dallas better. I mean,
well, they won't have Kyrie next year.
no, but they will have Cooper and AD, and
It's a
you never
start.
know.
It's a start.
It's a
All right,
start.
do it. Yeah, I know you wanna.
So, speaking of the Raptors dropping to number 9 and fucking their franchise up, word is that Masai is, anything's on the table, blah blah blah. Giannis came out yesterday that he expressed interest in going to the Raptors as a free agent, as well as the Brooklyn Nets
Not as a free agent, in a
as
trade.
not as a free agent, as a trade.
In a trade.
Right. In a trade. And it's interesting that he included the Raptors in that choice. There's a history between him and Masai. Masai has been trying to get this guy since 2013. So the chances of the Raptors making a deal for him are actually real. It's not like a pipe dream or anything. They're actually real. So if that happens, what do you do? Well,
Well,
who do you give up? Scotty, obviously.
maybe
And
not.
here's the thing: Scotty is basically the same guy as Giannis, except he's 7 years younger, and he's not a superstar.
Oh,
He's not,
excuse me.
and
Yeah,
he's
he's
not.
not. He's not the same guy as Giannis. He
No,
plays the
but
same
he's the
position as.
same. Yeah. So obviously Scotty goes. See you, Scotty. And Grady Dick and a bunch of their number one picks for the next 10 years.
Well, no, I mean, like, look, the thing about the Raptors, and by the way, just on an aside here, there was another weird report that Atlanta is looking to poach Masai Ujiri. I don't know if you saw that being floated around.
Oh, I didn't.
Mark Spears reported that the Hawks are trying to make a run at poaching Masai and bringing. Now, I don't know how realistic that is in terms. I mean, he's under contract, so I don't know. But anyway, just wanted to throw that out there as a possible
Interesting.
wrench in your Giannis dreams. But seriously, that it was floated. Like the Hawks are they want Masai as their new president.
Interesting.
Here's the thing. The Raptors are in an interesting position because they actually do, if you actually go through and look at it, they actually do have enough to trade for to put a package for Giannis, and then
Yep.
have enough left over to have a decent team.
Yep.
Now, I think the package would be Scotty,
Yep.
RJ,
Ooh.
um, maybe Grady Dick, and
I
then
would say definitely Dick.
the
Yep.
ninth pick this year,
Hmm.
and then a future pick.
Yep. I could see that.
That would probably
Leaves them,
something like that, right?
and that
And
leaves them with a center. So they still have Pirtle. They would have Giannis. They have Quickly. They still have guys off the bench like
Kobe
Shed and
Walter and Jamal
Kobe
Shed
Walker.
and
What's his name?
Mobo.
Mobo. They have Battle, right? So
Well, now
no,
you're.
no, he's a good 3-point shooter. He's one of the best in the league. So
I wouldn't go that far, buddy.
yeah, no, he is.
Percentage wise,
Yeah.
he took
Um,
like 14, but look, listen.
they still have, like you say, they'd still have enough to make
You
a
missed Brandon Ingram, by the way, but
Oh yeah, Brandon Ingram,
uh,
right? So
here's the thing. Like, well, I half agree with you. I mean, look, obviously, I don't think that's a championship team. Obviously,
but
now,
it's a start.
yeah, it's a start, and like obviously Giannis alone lifts your ceiling. Like that, they would be a playoff
You're,
team,
you're
sure,
a playoff team.
for sure. Now the problem is, it's like again, you go through. It's like so you're basically surrounding Giannis with, like you said, quickly Ingram, Hurdle, Dick. Like to me, it's like you're kind of another version of the shitty Bucks, like
I was going
as
to
a
say,
five
no,
seed.
all the guys you mentioned are better than the shitty Bucks.
I don't know about that.
Oh, come on. I mean, Lopez he's a granddad. I mean, like he can't play. Who else? Let's see. What's his name who came over from Washington?
Kyle Kuzma. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
sure, maybe this year, but like I'm talking in the years past. Like I don't know. Is
and I mean, Dame's washed. I mean, the whole team is old and creaky and like
no, look, I
forget
get it. I understand that. I'm just saying that like
done. They're done.
if you
So
if
the
you,
Raptors are a significant improvement on that.
I don't know if I'm totally with you on that argument. Like I think that Emmanuel quickly is whatever. Ingram is a stoner, and like he's a great offensive player, but he's never really like could he blossom playing with Giannis? We'll see. Pirtle's a solid center
Yep.
in there. Like look, listen, it would definitely make them relevant, and regardless, like you have to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it if he wants to come here. If he actually wants to come here,
Wants to come here.
you got to do it.
You got to do it.
And then you figure the rest out. Yeah, I
Right.
mean,
And
like,
then,
look, we'll
and
see.
then if you have Giannis, and then, say a year goes by or whatever,
Then you can sign somebody else.
then I was going to say somebody's going to want to play with Giannis.
Yes.
Fuck, man.
Right.
But you can get players that will come to Toronto.
If you can get it done for,
The
I think
Raptors, hey, listen, the Raptors, when they won the championship in 2019, they didn't win it just because they got Kawhi that year. They won it because they started building the team properly for a championship run, and he was the missing piece. So they could form a team with Giannis in the same kind of way, and keep building a new guy every year to add to, you know what I mean? Like they go to Pirtle and get like
that team
whoever.
that team won
Rudy
59
Gobert.
games. God, listen, that team won 59 games before they traded for Kawhi. Okay, like
Right.
it
No,
was
I
a
know, but
totally different situation. They had a really really good team that wasn't good enough to beat LeBron and get over the hump.
right.
And they sacrificed DeMar and upgraded him to Kawhi Leonard so that they could do that. This
Yeah.
is a totally different situation.
I know, but
This is a team that's coming off like a
my point,
20
my point is,
win
Eddie, that you don't, they're not going to be a championship team by adding Giannis, right? And whatever they're going to need to add a few more pieces, but it'll get them into the playoffs.
Oh man, when I read that, I was like, oh, I hope my dad doesn't see this. Like, it's been your dream. Well, I mean, like, look, we'll
Hey,
see, we'll see,
we'll see.
we'll
I
see.
think I think it could happen.
They could put together a pretty good package for him, and it
Yep.
just depends on where he wants to play and what he wants to do. And I do
Yep.
think Darko Rajakovic plays a part here. I think that I think that guys around the league really respect him
Mhm.
and what he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but he did an incredible job this year and the year before, which was a complete shit show,
Yeah.
right? Where you trade Pascal and OG midseason,
Yeah.
everybody's hurt. You got the crazy Jonte Porter story. It was just the whole season was a mess. And
Yep.
then this past year, the team wasn't good, but like everybody liked each other. Guys played fucking hard. They
Played
played
hard.
defense,
Yep.
and
They were
he got
unselfish
those
on
guys
offense.
believing in something and believing in building a culture. And like
Yeah.
I've come around on Darko. I think he's a really good coach. I think that if Giannis like that might be playing a part. Like Giannis might be looking at us and saying, this team is building something. They've got a lot of periphery talent that
Mhm.
I can slot into, young talent.
Yep.
Like I said, they got Ingram, they got Pirtle, they got Quickly,
Yep.
and they got like you said, Jamal Shed is a real player. He'll be their backup point guard next year. Kobe
Absolutely.
Walter showed flashes.
Yep.
I think he's going to be a good shooting guard in this league. Grady
Mhm.
Dick, I'm still not sold on.
Yeah.
But again, he showed some flashes. Like he's got offensive talent. He just
Yep.
hasn't put it together quite yet.
Yep.
But
Well,
yeah, we'll see.
he's a perfect trade bait. So
Yeah, yeah. All right, man. We'll see. Well,
yeah,
this might be the last time we're going to talk until the finals, by the way, because you're going off to Italy.
I'm going off to Italy on Saturday. So
Okay, so we
yeah,
probably
we might
won't talk during the Western Conference Finals, unfortunately. But we will. But we will. When you're back, we will do a podcast before the NBA Finals.
absolutely.
All right. See you, Dad.